Welcome everybody. After dicking around for about a half an hour, we're gonna start our stream for tonight. It's session 21 from our Fear Itself campaign. I never reviewed anything, so we're gonna wing it as far as a recap here. The guys started off with some downtime activities. Jack went to Bermuda to relax, caught a little time in the sun. Randy was hanging around his house, forged a more normal relationship with his mom. He got a little bit more freedom. It's maybe a little less codependent. And Erin spent some time researching the Huron stuff and kind of delving a little deeper into his mysterious background. We met over at Jack's place, try to figure out how to proceed. Edward had a mission kind of queued up for us. So before we left, Randy decided on a lark that he was going to have Jack's truck painted like Optimus Prime. Didn't go really well. It kind of turned into like a whole thing. Needless to say, or maybe not, we had to have Jack's truck painted back to black again, so it wouldn't stick out. Edward gave us
welcome, listeners.
Right. Edward gave us the details on the Clutie. It was still being held. They were investigating it. They weren't really sure what it was or what they were going to do with it. It gave us information about this hotel in Switzerland. It's sort of a hub for some cult activity. So they were being sent in to investigate it. They have ties to the guy that kicked the shit out of Randy many moons ago. So we chose new personas for the trip. Brett is going to be playing Jacques Crandall. He's a professor who tends to wear capes and leather and wears a monocle, which, okay. Randy's playing Case Pendleton, a defense lawyer. Due to his mastery of the web, has created his own website and whole backstory for Case. And Erin is playing Charles Dashel, company executive. We flew out to Sweden. We met up with a contact person.
Switzerland. That's
Switzerland?
Important.
What did I say?
Sweden.
Oh, Switzerland.
It's important because Switzerland seems more international. Not that Sweden's not, but Sweden, everyone would have a Swedish accent, and I cannot do that.
Right.
I can fake a German-ish accent, which is sort of similar to Swiss. So,
well, you could pretend to talk in that kind of accent and then go into an English accent, like some movies do. Like, oh, now we're talking English, everybody, because nobody can do that accent.
That's right. Everyone's going to be British. That's evil. That way you can identify them.
Awesome. Gotcha. Like every great Bond movie.
Or Star Wars movie.
Yeah, that's true.
We were picked up at the airport by our contact, Wyatt Perry. He works for the organization, also gave us a little bit of background. We met with, I think, Mr. Schilling was the guy's name. He inherited the hotel. He's the owner-manager there.
Friedrich Schilling.
Friedrich.
Actually, Schelling is technically the spelling.
Oh, okay. Well, let me change that.
Friedrich Schilling.
All right. And that was pretty much it. We wrapped with the guys heading into the elevator and, kind of holing up for the night and taking a load off and trying to regroup and figure out what the hell they're going to do. So take it away, Neil.
I love how you always throw it to me, and then I have to be like, what? And then literally I just go, what are you guys doing? You're like, we went on an elevator. It's not like I say the elevator opens and there's like mobsters with guns and it's like, bah, 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 roll something. Honestly, I should have done that. It would have been super cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if this is gonna be like Bondish, I mean, there should be action at every turn, right?
Well, the cultists don't know you're here yet, probably.
So they will.
I think the only rolling we did last session was to paint the truck.
Pretty sure it was. So, thanks, listeners, for bearing with us.
Can I have like two blades? Can I have like two blades that I pull out and they have like spinning things? So I go like, and I have like blades and shit.
If you roll preparedness, I guess you may.
Yeah, 'cause that's what I want.
Well, couldn't it? I mean, I know you asked us the last time what we were bringing,
And no one said spinning swords.
All right.
Not one person said, I'm taking swords that spin and do cool tricks.
Well, to be
No,
fair,
not swords, they're just
swords.
they're like daggers. They're like little dagger things, you know. But
Yeah, I
they
get
have
it.
this thing where I can take them out and spin them like a gun and really have them like that.
All
Yeah,
right,
also,
well,
no one said that.
go ahead and roll. You've got 2 in preparedness. You can spend or not if you want.
I'm gonna spend the 2.
You're gonna spend 2?
I'm gonna spend the 2. Yeah,
All right.
I really want the blades.
Okay.
Come on. He wants his blades. Let him spend his points.
He can spend them however he wants.
Heck yeah. He can be the Drax of our group.
All right.
I got a 6. I got a 6.
Wow.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, you've got them, and they're very fine quality.
Yes.
If any blade smithing companies would like to sponsor this podcast and have it be their blades, which I'm sure will stab someone really hardcore to death at some point in this storyline, go ahead and email me or John, legendsoftabletop@gmail.com. Email him because we are more than happy to mention your blades. Maybe someone like Cold Steel. They're a blade company alone, and they make good stuff, it seems, and they have cool swords on their website. So maybe you want to advertise here. Maybe that's a Cold Steel blade. Otherwise, it's like Gerber or something. You jerks. I get testy with our non-advertisers. You get off the elevator. You're on the same floor. You essentially have, I wouldn't say it's an entire wing, but like a little, like 3 suites at the end of the hallway. You each obviously have your own suite. They all have like separate bedroom, bathroom, living room. There's no television because I'm going to say it's like old school European hotel. They don't like read a book, guys. Get some culture. The rooms are very nicely appointed. Clearly, people with money stay here. It's quite nice. Within your hotel rooms, you'd also notice, I don't know if I said this or not. I hope I didn't contradict myself, but I was pretty sure I said they use actual physical keys.
I think so. It was that swanky.
So yeah, like not key cards. It's like actual keys. So your rooms also have sort of like, you know, the standard book of like stuff you can do, like room service menus and, you know, all the hotel like amenities. So there's like, you know, Olympic class pool and saunas and a spa and skiing because it's actually in the Alps. So there's like all the way up to like triple black diamond for people that want to die in this game. I don't know what a skiing roll would be for athletics, but you'd have to roll something hellacious if you decide to go triple black diamond for some reason, just for fun. But you could. So anything you'd find at a fancy hotel, you're probably going to find here. It's obviously quite expensive, but the tab is being picked up by your organization, so you are fine there. As far as anything, you can always put it on your tab. And then there is a special invitation on all of your desks. Well, you're not sure if it's so special if you compare them, but it's essentially an invitation to the hotel gala. And at least as far as you can tell, like this, it's like a Thursday. So you're not sure. It makes the some of the language makes it seem as if the gala is a regular sort of routine sort of affair. It's formal dress. It seems quite swanky. And obviously all the guests are invited. It says, you know, past heavy hors d'oeuvres and open bar, which is extreme, but you don't actually know what the price per night is here, so it's not that extreme if you compared that. So that is sort of your room setup. If you have do you have any questions about the room itself or the hotel so far with what you would have gathered from that? Otherwise, I'll let you guys roll as far as what you want to do. I would say it's mid-afternoon when you arrived. I think we decided, or it was actually, no, I think it was more like 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was later.
The gala is at 9.
But it's tonight. So it's Thursday. The gala's on Thursday. Today's Thursday.
Yes.
It's in a couple hours. Okay.
Correct.
Just so I can take appropriate notes.
And we had talked to some people beforehand, right? I'm pretty sure we talked to some people in the lobby.
We talked to the owner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He kind of, you get the impression he personally greets every guest because every guest is important at Le Hotel Grand.
All right. So I say, well, you know, what do you think, guys? Should we, you think we should split up and kind of canvass the place before this gala so we can meet up again and kind of, you know, get a feel for the layout here?
I don't know. You want to go grab something to eat before the gala? Kind of just like scope things out, sort of just like take it all in.
I'll take the eating part.
Well, yeah.
And we're gonna get the best of the best stuff. So we got to make sure we eat like breakfast, lunch, dinner, in between snack. I mean, we're gonna be living it up, boys. This is gonna be the good stuff right here.
And you know what? We really should spend a lot of money so that we fit in. You know what I mean? We'll look weird if we're like, oh, I don't think we, you know. So it's actually a good thing that we're going to be spending a lot of money because it'll look good.
Well, you know, Randy, I know this is like, you know, 5 stars, 10 stars, whatever, but I'll wager that the food's not as good as Mrs. Garrison's food.
That is true. The greasiest spoons are always the best. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with going to get something to eat if you guys want it. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you know, let's freshen up. Let's you know, get straightened. You know, new tie or whatever. We'll go down and we'll just kind of, you know, just let's see what happens.
Okay. Now, by the way, just as an aside, my blades are very concealable as well, so I'll be able to have the blades on me. Right. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, otherwise you have to make another preparedness roll to say that you actually have them on you.
No, yeah. I would assume they're concealed fairly well and easily drawn.
Right. I mean, Erin would just kind of like check out the room, and I mean, he's like no spy detective or whatever, but like, you know, he would kind of like look into the lamp and, you know, he'd throw all his crap out, you know, poke around in the bathroom and, you know, just kind of see how things are laid out, you know, see if our rooms are connected at all.
They're not directly connected, no. So you sort of have, it probably doesn't matter, but like, you know, yours is like kind of going this way with the door, living room, kind of bedroom, bathroom, and then Randy's is kind of this way, same way with the door there, and then Jack or Jacques is kind of this way, and it's kind of living room by this. So you're kind of like the end corner arranged, right? But not, they're not adjoining rooms.
All right, that's fair.
That you know, I mean, notice would tell you it does not connect. And then also using, do you have notice?
I do.
You don't notice any like bugs or surveillance devices or anything like that. It looks like it's legit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he would really notice anyway, but it's kind of like, well, you know, I should probably at least try to look to see, you know, if anything like stands out.
Yeah, I mean, you check like lamps for like, are there extra wires? Are there little like things like sticking out, microphones, that sort of thing? Like,
Sure.
pick up the desk, the clock on the desk, and you're like, looks like a clock. I mean, I guess there could be a microphone in it or something, but
Sure.
you don't perceive anything nefarious so far
Okay.
with a sweep.
All right. Aaron would get washed up, kind of like refreshed, wash his face, kind of, maybe change his shirt. Nothing
Sure.
major. Then meet up with everybody.
Yeah, Jack is happy with the way he looks in his get up, so he's not changing anything.
I think Randy would clean up a little bit. He'd probably like put a little product in his hair just to, fit the part of lawyer, even though he really has no clue what he's doing, but he's going to fake it as best he can. So
he gets into the room. He immediately rips off his suit, puts on like his Evil Dead T-shirt, and just sits in there for like 15 minutes, waits for the knocks. Like fuck, and put his clothes back on.
Actually, he's starting to grow up now. So now he's been sitting in it the whole time. He just kind of sits in his suit and just kind of like touches a little bit, make sure everything's okay. I'm good. Just kind of sits there. Maybe has a little snack beforehand, but he actually like eats over a plate for once in his life, and like is really like, oh, just make sure nothing gets on it.
Nice. Yeah. So go ahead.
I need a reminder. I did not take note, I don't think, of your covers. What is everyone? Nope, I did. God, I'm dumb. I already did it.
I mean, I said it in the recap.
Proceed. I know, but I was like, did I do this? But I got it. Got it. Sorry.
Right, so if no one knocks on Aaron's door, he'll go out and knock on Jack's door. And
yeah, I open it and I come out. I'm all set. Got my blades.
All right, let's grab Case and head down. Grab some cocktails.
Sounds good to me. We can't no overdoing it though, man. This is, we got to remember we are still in mortal danger here. So if we blow our covers, we're kind of fucked.
And he's like throat slash motion like. Jacques, I'm not sure. I mean, we're on a nice vacation, and he reaches over and he knocks on Randy's door.
Yep, and it kind of spooks him a little bit, but then he opens the door. He actually is like he's kind of prepared for whatever comes, but also is kind of scared a little bit. So he kind of opens the door like confidently, but not too confidently, where he's just kind of like peeking, like, okay, oh, it's my friends, okay.
Hey, Case, and he winks at Randy. You're ready for a night out?
Oh yeah. You know me, I like to have a good time.
Of course. And I guess they hop back in the elevator and head down to the dining room.
Okay. You head to the dining room. Looking around, you certainly you don't necessarily get looks or anything. You blend in pretty well. Everyone in the dining room looks fairly well-to-do. It's a seemingly very international crowd. You notice, all types of visitors. You hear several different, obviously European languages. There's always a German tourist somewhere. They're always on vacation somehow. You see, you hear people speaking with like British accents. There's people speaking, there's actually, I guess you wouldn't necessarily know unless you have some sort of language skills in particular languages, but there's everything from like what looks like, like Asian businessmen that are fairly well off to old money, sort of almost like tuxedo wearing royal types or whatever. So it's a very eclectic crowd. The host, as you walk up, greet you. Good evening, gentlemen. Would you like a table?
I think we may start over at the bar. What do you think, gentlemen?
I think a drink would be in order.
Randy's character just basically just gives a slight nod and then doesn't pay attention to the other gentleman.
So, should I put your name in? Do you have reservations for this evening?
No, unfortunately, we just arrived.
No worries. I can get you a table. If you're going to have a drink first, that would be beneficial for the schedule. We have a table opening up. Looks like 7:30, if that is amenable.
Yeah, Erin looks to the other two.
Yeah, what time is it now?
It's like 6:30.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Excellent. Party of 3, then? Or
Yes.
do you have guests as well?
Just the 3 of us.
Excellent. I'll pencil it. What name should I put down? Or room number?
Charles Dashel.
He writes the name in. Party 3. Excellent. If you would, we don't call out names. Like, I noticed your accent. Americans do in their restaurants. So if you would just come up close to 7:30, I'll have your table ready and we'll take you there. Till then, obviously, enjoy the drinks at the bar. May I recommend the Manhattan? It's quite good here. It's a special recipe.
All right. May have to check that out then. And he grabs the front of his fedora and kind of tips his hat to him.
Here's a fairly formal bow of nod of gratitude, and then has his arm. He waves an arm. You see a younger gentleman say, let me escort you to the bar. He walks you over.
Fall in behind him.
The bar is very well appointed. You notice there are exceptional, aged bottles of scotch, not vintage bottles, not 12-year whatever. It's 1978, whatever, Glenfiddich or Lafroig or whatever, the actual named ones. But also they have lower tier stuff as well. And the bartenders are all fairly attractive younger people. They are all in the women are in sort of the little black dress, classy style dress, pearls. The men are all in tuxedos. So everyone is quite fancy. A younger girl, probably somewhere in mid-20s, comes up. Hello. Could I get you a drink?
Erin just extends his hand to the other two for them to order.
Yes, I'll take the Manhattan. It was recommended highly.
Excellent. One of our signature drinks. We make our own mixers.
Does it have Cthulhu blood in it? Oh, I hope it does. I so hope it does.
She's like, God bless you?
Just say, I would have never said that out loud as a joke.
She doesn't know what Cthulhu is. So.
Yeah, exactly. No, I would have never said that to her. Case gives her kind of a stern look and says, I'll take a bloody full spice with Angelico Fernet vodka in it.
She's like, can do. Excellent. Good choice. And for you, sir?
I will also take a Manhattan. It was recommended.
Fantastic. I'll be right back, gentlemen, with your drinks. My name's Natalie. If you need anything else, please just flag me down and I'll be happy to assist you.
Well, you can be sure of it.
So she goes about making drinks. She is clearly American, at least by accent. Standard sort of, she goes very professionally and makes the drinks. You notice pretty much everything is as you would expect. There's no weird like smoking potion or anything that's going. Yeah,
no Cthulhu blood. Come on.
There's no Cthulhu blood. There's no, she comes back to Manhattan's and the Bloody Mary sets them down and says, "Please, you'll have to let me know what you think. We make the bitters ourselves. That's the secret. As well, I can. Well, it's not a very well kept secret. We actually use dry vermouth instead of a sweet vermouth, so it'll be a little different. But all the guests seem to love it."
Interesting. He grabs it, picks it up and swirls it, gives it a sniff, and kind of like, raises it to her. Takes a sip.
And should I charge this to your room?
Yes.
Excellent. So she goes off and just kind of types stuff in to a system.
He looks over to Jack and he's like, "Damn, this is really good."
It is one of the best Manhattans you've ever had. I don't know how many Manhattans you've had, but you really like it. It's quite tasty.
Erin,
the Bloody Mary is spot on, as if she read your mind. The perfect spice, the perfect blend. The vodka was obviously the right choice. So
yep. And I looked it up, and I looked up best vodka in Switzerland and picked the most expensive. It's called research.
Then she knows you are high rollers.
That's
because hardly anyone will pick the actual vodka, and not only that, the most expensive one. So she's like, she could tell this guy knows his shit.
Nice. Yeah, that's right.
Or knows how to Google.
You were going to say something. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say to Jack. Not Jack. I was going to say too many names now.
Charles.
I was going to say Charles. I don't know. I think the Manhattan is some kind of a code. Like is there some we should be looking out for? I don't know. I feel like, this girl's American. Walked in, the guy recommended Manhattans. Maybe I'm reading too much into this. I don't know.
I can appreciate your concern. I think we got to kind of keep this stuff on the down low, though, right? I mean, like it like he lifts it up again and kind of like swirls it like he's sniffing, and he will like sniff, like see if it smells off or what. I mean, because Erin was a bartender, right? So like if it didn't smell like a Manhattan, or if there was like a weird
you get no impression that it's tainted in any way.
I don't mean that it's poison or something. I'm saying I just felt like it was some kind of a code, like they're signaling us for something.
I mean, the guy was German, clearly. I mean, maybe he just thought that, maybe it was a joke for him to, recommend an American, liquor, a Manhattan for someone from, from the States.
Yeah, exactly. Here, let's have something. You can have something you can always have. It's like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, it is really good, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But they did say it's one of their specialties. It's also one of the first cocktails. So, although people say it's the first, I do not believe that's true. I believe the Sazerac is actually the first, based on Sazerac rye. And eat my dust, people. I do my research. Sazerac's delicious. Look into it. It's not the Manhattan. People say the Manhattan is the first cocktail. It's not. Google it.
Neil, you know too many things.
First cocktail is mojito. Because, no, it is. It is because pirates used to use it as an antiseptic. They would.
What?
Yes, it's true. Pirates would use mojito as essentially like a medicine, and so because it'd be the liquor, the rum, and they'd crush the mint in there and stuff, and they'd drink it and also apply it to wounds and shit. So I think
didn't think it would be very antiseptic. I didn't think it would be super antiseptic.
Yeah, it's better than nothing if you think about it, right?
I mean, the rum would help. I guess if you just took rum, crushed up mint in it, and put sugar. Also, if you have a high enough sugar concentration, bacteria won't grow in it. So it's actually a high enough sugar concentration in water will actually be antiseptic as well. So technically, that's right. I'm also a microbiologist, guys. Eat my shit.
Science time on Legends of
Let's
Tabletop.
talk about science, guys. Bacterial growth. Let's get into it. What percentage of glucose in a solution is required to prevent bacterial growth? Well, it's at least 50-50 because simple syrup will not mold or grow bacteria. Let's take a call from our listeners.
George from New York.
Why? Why? That's it. That's his question.
Everybody that was watching is now gone. They're like, you fucking stupid.
What a bunch of pretentious douches that pretend to be fake internet characters.
Well, look, maybe I'm gonna take out my blade and make things interesting. What do you think?
Whoa. He like reaches out and like puts a hand on your arm. He's like, well, comment. You need to look. I mean, we're working, but like you've got to like relax a little bit. I mean, we've been here for like 2 hours. Like we have to like investigate. Like this is like fucking Columbo and shit.
Yeah, this isn't the Shield where you can just do what you want. Consequences don't matter. You have to be. You said yourself, we can't get carried away, man.
Calm down, Wolverine.
Okay, he's
got the blades for sure. Yeah.
You do have at least a week's reservation, which means if you want to hang out at a fancy hotel for a week for free, you probably shouldn't draw blades on the first hour at the bar. Might not be looked upon well, but you know you can. I'm totally for it because we'll roll that one. But
no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to do it eventually. It's like him with the cannon. Always wanted to use the cannon. Now he's gonna want to use the blades.
Boy, the time, right?
Tell ya, he is our Drax. That's okay. We still love him.
Did the waitress, when she reached out and put the glasses down, Erin would have looked for tattoo?
No, she does not have the call. Good call. She does not have the wrist tattoo of the cultists.
Okay. I mean, everyone that he speaks to, he would look, especially for a man, he'd be shaking hands and.
Yep. You have not yet noticed a cult tattoo for anybody so far that you have met.
Yeah, which has been like 3 people.
Yes. Yeah. You met the desk clerk, the owner, probably not a cultist, theoretically, you would hope, at least at this point. And then, yes, the waitress. Coming back, she comes back a little bit into the of your drinks and is like, "Oh, are you enjoying the drinks?"
This is very good. Back in my younger days, I tended bar for a little while, and I say this is the best damn Manhattan I've ever had.
Oh, thank you. Where did you bartend? What? You're from the States, right?
Yeah. You as well. Your accent gives you away.
Yeah, San Diego. It was a whole thing, moved here with a guy and things didn't work out, but I love it. And I'll tell you what, the tips are pretty good here. So I couldn't say no, and we're living in luxury. So, I live in town, but it certainly helps to have this clientele. And, the mixologists here behind the bar, we don't do too bad making up bitters and some extra special recipes to, flaunt a little bit for the guests.
Nice. That's cool. What happened? Didn't you said it didn't work out? Just went your separate ways?
Well, you get I think he had a couple ladies on the side. Turns out, typical man. No offense.
None taken. He puts up his hands.
But, he had a lady here. I didn't know it. I moved to this apartment. He'd be gone some nights, and, he didn't travel for business. I mean, he has a shop in downtown. So what was he doing staying somewhere else? So I don't know. I just wasn't going to be the other woman, or the other woman, or whatever I was. But I maybe one day I'll get back. But for now, I like it here. It's a nice place, and you meet some really interesting people.
Yeah, imagine you would. That's one of the perks of the job, I guess.
That's right, and maybe I'll snag me a rich husband. Right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, you never know.
That's right. You never do. Well, if I can refresh your drink, just flag me down. Happy to help out a fellow American and make sure you enjoy your stay. Happy to help any way I can.
He winks.
She kind of gives you the flirty laugh and walks off. Starts, making drinks for people couple down the bar. At this point, I would say 7:30-ish rolls up. I don't know. You can have a few cocktails unless you have specific goals you want to attain before then.
I mean, other than small talk between us, like, what's our plan of action kind of thing, without doing like another 3-hour session of planning and we just sit at the bar and never have dinner. I mean, Erin would just, casually kind of glance.
An actual hour, I will have them come and take you to your table. So with an hour of planning, I'm forcing them to make you get dinner. Anyway.
No, I mean, Erin would just kind of like look around casually, kind of take things in, kind of like just, I mean, obviously it's a rich international set. Is it older crowd, younger crowd?
Mostly kind of 50s and older, but that's sort of to be expected. There are younger folks, though, for sure. You see, a few tables here and there of sort of debutante type, Paris Hilton, rich, fancy princess types. Not that she's really fancy. She's kind of crass, but that's for the audience. I don't think she's fancy. She's not fancy. But yeah, there are. It's kind of skewed older, only in that that's usually who has the money to do this sort of thing. But there are families. There are, like obviously parents who have brought their kids, and there are younger people that are sort of rich, up and coming folks that you can tell are. They sort of have aggregated together a bit. You notice some tables that are definitely people of different accents, all kind of talking and hanging out and getting to know each other and flirting and that sort of thing. So it seems a lot of the older crowd kind of is kind of sticking to their group. And then the younger folks are more socializing and networking and that sort of thing.
Okay. So Jack takes out his phone and kind of just as clandestinely as he can. He's kind of pretends like he's doing something on it, but he holds it just high enough where he can kind of take pictures of people's faces, like without them knowing.
Sure.
And he's kind of, because he's doing this because he wants to get some stuff so they can maybe use some like facial recognition software like online or something later on.
Sure.
So he's kind of just doing this just so they have a little bit of a database kind of thing, but he's doing it like no one notices because it's really, it's not, he does it every once in a while so that to not attract attention.
Okay. I assume, I'll assume you have some skill that allows you to do that without noticing, either photography or stealth or I don't know what, sleight of hand, something.
Mechanics?
No.
He has computer science.
Also, no. But I mean, I'll let you do it because I think that's a great idea.
Well,
but
I think it's
the question is
you know,
how many times can you do it before someone tells you cell phone use is discouraged and rude? I guess
no,
would
it's very sporadic, and it's because listen, you know, we're doing business, right? No one's gonna come up. Everyone does business on their phone, you know, so no one's gonna come up some rich dude and say he can't text on his phone, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm just doing it like, you know, just up enough and boom, and then, you know, so nobody knows.
I like it. It's a good idea. So you get pictures of as many kind of clips of the dining room as you can to kind of get faces just in case.
I think what Randy would do is he'd just like not just stand at the bar. He would actually walk around with like a vote of confidence like in himself, just kind of like I'm even like he has that like look of him like I'm important, but he's not going to talk to anybody. I'm just going to basically walk the crowd and scan everybody and just be like, just look for somebody that looks like they're out of place.
Okay. It's hard to tell because it's such a mixed crowd. Do you have notice though? Or
yes, I do.
Okay. You definitely so you're walking around scanning the room. It's hard to tell who's out of place because it is so many different types of people. But you notice as you're kind of walking around, you know, you kind of get a couple looks from a few people that may be sort of out of place. There's a younger guy at one of the tables. It's not like they're staring you down, but it's kind of like most people just ignore what else is going on around them for the most part. But there's kind of like what's this guy doing type thing, or like who's this guy? So there's a younger guy, probably in his 20s, early 30s, that is at one of the tables, and then like a girl's like, whatever, and he's like turns his attention back to her. You notice a lady, probably later 30s, that's kind of keeping an eye on your group. And a couple other faces in the crowd that seem to be more noticing your walk around than others. You know, I'll say, you know, an older gentleman and you know, his wife both kind of seem to be keeping an eye. You can't get any glance of like tattoo or anything if you are looking.
Okay. So does anybody look like do they look like they're just put out by me walking around, or do they look like they're like, you know, like any kind of recognition, you know, would I notice that?
You don't think anyone recognizes you. You think it's more that they're more interested than a normal onlooker potentially, or someone that would just be not paying attention to you at all. Like, oh, I'm just in my own world. So the couple people that have noticed are kind of seem more interested than not in your activities, but only for a little while. Like the younger guy kind of takes note. You notice him kind of looking. And then after a little while, he kind of just like, once the girl's kind of like, hey, blah, 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 he like goes back to talking to her. You notice the lady that's sort of mid or later 30s, very well dressed. She keeps sort of glancing over at your group. And then the other couple, the older couple, is they look and then again kind of sort of keep glancing, but don't there's not like a look of like no one like sees you and then like leaves the table quickly and something like that. So
Okay. So then I go back to the group and I go to Jack and I say, I've been seeing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Like, but can you do me a favor? And I point out those few people and I say, can you just, pretend like you're texting on your phone and just take the pictures of the little guys too, please?
And I nod and I do it up.
Nice.
okay. You get a picture of them, the folks. They don't seem to notice you.
Does any of the art around the bar dining room area strike any like weird chords, like represents maybe something that it shouldn't, or something that would be contextually like, wow, that's a weird, like, why would you put that here?
Good question. I would say it's not weird contextually per se, but there is a skew towards older sort of Renaissance paintings. There's a lot of seems to be like a lot of references to oh god, I'm blanking on names. The wine festival in Rome. Like there's like a revelry type, which isn't weird, but it's definitely, not your norm for like a dining room. It also seems to be potentially part of the ballroom at some point. But yeah, a lot of the paintings are more about, are very skewed toward like revelry and partying, essentially, in olden times.
Like a bacchanalian kind of.
Yes, that's what I was trying to think. Yes. Okay. So it's not like low class. They're all classic paintings, but it's definitely skewed toward that, which is not the norm for most places that would have like, oh, here's flowers or portraits or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But it makes sense being in Switzerland that has an older history, to have some of these, even if they're knockoffs of classic painters or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you have like an art or.
I have history, but not art history.
History, yeah. You can't tell for sure if they're real, but they could be. It's an old enough hotel, old enough building, and at least the Schellings are rich enough to have probably had at some point acquired originals for some of these. You're not sure which is which, though, without a closer examination if you really wanted to.
Sure. And they weren't worth, $50 million, at the time that they were painted. So if the hotel has that sort of history, that would have been, not as expensively acquired.
Yeah, most likely. Or were stolen from Jews.
Well, I mean, there's that.
Eat that, Switzerland. Neutral. Come on. They did hold a lot of Nazi
gold and other stuff. Yeah.
Treasure, aka stolen goods. So you never know. Maybe some of that was gotten illicitly.
You're welcome, listeners in Switzerland.
Do we have any? I
apologize
if you are from Switzerland. I apologize. Only in that you did do that objectively. And I'm calling you out. You did! They held Nazi gold. Come on, that's fucked up.
Well, our listeners.
That gold was made from people's teeth. Not our listeners, but like some of that gold, those gold bars were made from people's teeth, guys. Don't hold that. You should have been like, Nazis? Ricky. That's what you would have said if you were America. I'm kidding. America probably would have done it too if they could have. So I'm sure they made a lot of money on it.
Well,
sorry, Switzerland. None of you did anything wrong, I'm guessing, because you're probably like 20 years old and you weren't holding Nazi gold, but someone did. and I don't like it. Unless you
edit all this out.
John, don't edit it. We gotta be socially conscious here. Here's a PSA. The more you know, don't hold Nazi gold. There you go. It rhymes. It's a really good PSA for the future of America. Too many Nazis, guys, in America.
All right, so Randy's like, we can't miss that reservation. I mean, I'm missing out. We gotta get going.
Yeah, shit. Let's go. Yeah.
Okay. You head over. The host greets you, shows you to a table. Sort of not in the center of the dining room. It's kind of a little bit offset. Smaller table. So that's not like you're not like at an 8-person table or anything. The menus are, in this case, most of the food is French, sort of the classic French menu. There's a chef's tasting menu that there are no prices, by the way, on any of this. It's all just listed. But there are a few other international or dishes from other locations. But most of it, yeah, there are not hot dogs. There's not even brats. Like even brats.
No brats.
Come on, I'm from Wisconsin, don't you know? I'm supposed to have a fucking brat here.
There is a Wiener Schnitzel that is,
there you go.
On the menu.
Okay. That's just a fancy name for a brat. Right?
That's right.
So yeah, there are a few items that are not sort of the fancy 4-star French restaurant type place, but most of it is, coq au vin and escargot and all the fancy time stuff that you would normally see. The wine menu is a little more eclectic in that it's, great bottles from all over the world of multiple vintages. But yeah, it seems the chef is probably classically trained, quote unquote.
Well, I open up the menu, and I plan on spending a lot of money, not making a pig of myself, but I want a real, 4 or 5 course meal here to do it up right. So I select a soup, I select a salad, I select an appetizer, and I select my main course. And I say, okay, guys, we're going to be here for a couple hours, so make yourself comfortable.
The waiter's like, are you sure you don't want the chef's tasting menu? It's 9 courses, quite delicious. Every night, something different. Your choices are quite excellent. I don't want to discourage you.
I'm going to stick with my 5 courses here, I think.
Excellent. Very good choices, sir. I will compliment your selections. And of course, dessert, we will present the menu at the end of the evening. But you may want to save time for the ball. You might want to save some room for the ballroom if you are going to the party this evening.
Oh, I think so. And then I look over at, I motion to Randy, and okay, it's your turn.
Okay. So what did they call it? What did you call it? The chef's menu? Is that what you called it?
Chef's tasting menu. So it's like a 9-course. Chef just comes up with creative stuff, and it's all of the courses of like a ridiculously fancy menu. You have plenty of forks and spoons to eat that with as well.
Yeah. Of course, Randy tries to hide his glee, and he does successfully, and he orders that.
When the waiter first said 9-course, Erin just kind of looks over at him and cracks a smile because he already knows. So when he does, he just, like he kind of shakes his head to himself, not like a big show, but he just says, I will have the salad, and I guess he would get something, more. I don't know that he would go super fancy. Like if they have lobster, maybe he would get like lobster.
Sure.
Like seafood.
They definitely have lobster.
Surf and turf kind of thing, like a
lobster.
Mignon.
They don't list them together, but you could request that for sure. Like you could do like lobster tail with it, and he's like, the chef's more than happy to put together anything you want.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Excellent choices. Our steak is dry aged in house.
Oh, excellent.
I would say we catch these lobster ourselves, but as you know, we do not touch the ocean.
Sure. But you're not too far.
No, of course. Flown in every day.
As I would expect. A bottle of your Bordeaux, please.
Which vintage? We have several. He kind of shows a list. It goes everywhere from they have ones that are like from like 40s.
Yeah.
But there are ones from like the 80s that are probably more.
Let's do a 1980. Do they have one?
Yes, they do. I actually don't know what good years of Bordeaux's are. So let's say, well, of course, if you get really, really old ones, it would be crazy expensive. Those probably that were like $10,000. We'll say,
well, 1980.
If you go 80s,
like
then
it's gotta be like $700 or something, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be in the thousands, most likely.
Yeah, it's gotta be under $1,000. So let's do a 1980 vintage. That's Jock's birthday.
Let's celebrate Jock's birthday. I think we go with an 80. That'd be wonderful.
Excellent. I'll pick something nice for you.
Thank you.
So he heads off. They bring you your meal as it's going through. Again, very, very, very fancy. Very. They do the they come in and serve from the left, take from the right. They have all the different forks and spoons and crazy town, that sort of stuff. Actually, 1982 apparently was the best in the 80s, or one of the best in the 80s, and it is extremely expensive. It's in the $1,000 range, so there you go. An 80 something would be in the 1,000. So,
and we're not paying for it.
That's right. That's right. You got to be fancy. He's like, excellent choice. So he goes back, comes through. Yeah, he pours. Does the you sniff and try it, and make sure it's a good bottle and all that sort of stuff. The meal goes through. I don't know if there's anything in particular you want to do during the meal.
Yeah, when nobody's around, they're just eating and stuff, and he's like, "Fuck, guys, this place is freaking there's people all over. Where do we even start to try to figure out what the fuck is going on, right? So the art looked normal-ish, right? Like Renaissance painter shit. None of that stuck out. The waitress didn't have a tattoo. The owner didn't have a tattoo.
There's got to be some kind of a, if you think about this, if this was a book, there's either some secret chamber subterranean, or there's some secret chamber in the attic. So we should try and figure out if there's some kind of secret rooms, in the basement or in the attic.
Yeah, there's got to be something out of the way, right? Because Edward said that the cult, various cults had used this place, and that the hotel itself or the grounds or whatever was some kind of like a magnet or so some kind of energy focus or whatever. So yeah, you'd think it would be down deep, right? So yeah, probably in the basement. but they're not just going to allow people access to the basement. I mean, that's probably like, the work area.
We're going to have to figure out how to do it.
I mean, maybe we could ask Schelling if, there's like tours of the grounds, maybe?
I think that might be suspicious.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, like cruise ships do that shit, right? They're like, oh, go to the galley and see where we cook your food.
Yeah, if they got a secret sacrifice basement, it's not going to be on the tour anyway.
True, but we can kind of get the lay of the land, and then if there's something that, looks like maybe it sticks out, we could always try to sneak back down. I mean, like it cuts down places we've got to try to suss out, right?
I suppose. Why not?
I mean, are we just gonna? I mean, we'll go to the gala tonight too. I mean, maybe something weird will happen.
What is our objective here, really? Anyway,
to find out what's going on with these cults, we have to investigate. Like that guy they kicked the shit out of Randy. Like that's just a branch of the cult. Like they're doing some like weird hardcore shit here that we got to figure out.
Yeah, it might not even be the people we're looking for either. It could be, we're looking for some shady characters. Well, if this is the higher ups of the group, it could be, the fanciest of the fancy. It could be, the guy that owns this hotel himself. As you just don't know.
Well, yeah, it's like that skull and crossbones shit, right? I mean, that's secret societies and all that shit. It's always the rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Super rich, anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
I wish we had David Icke here to help us.
I wonder. I don't know. I wonder if Wyatt would have anything that he could like go through the database of those pictures that you took and send them to him, and have him take a look and see if there's anybody around that is somebody of note.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think about sending it to him, but yeah, why not?
Yeah, because he seems to. It seems like he kind of has his ear to the ground a little bit, so maybe he can find out something for us.
That's a good idea.
Remember Edward said that the tattoo was something about they're trying to bring chaos into the world, so maybe we should be on a lookout for art that maybe shows more chaotic stuff. I mean, that kind of makes sense with the art, right? So the art in there was all, fucking drinking and revelry and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's kind of a form of chaos, right? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Well, hold on though. You might be onto something though. Maybe it's kind of like a video game where if there was art about drinking and stuff in the bar, maybe we need to look for art that's about like sacrificing or weird shit like that, and then maybe that'll be like the location that kind of stuff happens, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it could it could be more subtle than we think too. So we have to make sure we keep our eyes out.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have art on the walls of people getting their throats cut.
No, but it could be things like Saturn eating his young, or like classical kind of paintings like that.
Oh, that's true. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I almost wonder if because I know this party will probably go late, but I wonder if there's, like a curfew or something to maybe, eventually we get to the point, maybe we can kind of, put our no more clothes on, or maybe even, find some way to kind of sneak around and, find out what we can too.
Well, it's a hotel, so you'd think you could just be up any hours of the night walking around if you want,
Yeah, we just have to be careful not to do it too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, we have to tread lightly, right? So it's not like we could knock out the fucking maintenance man and put on his clothes and go walking around, right? I mean, I don't think we're at that stage yet.
No.
But yeah, I don't.
What happened to Freud? Gosh, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I feel like out of all of the missions that we've had, this one is very like we have to be very careful. And I know we've said this a bunch of times, but I think we have to really be on it. Otherwise, it could go south in a hurry. We're kind of out of our own element. So, you know, if something goes awry, it's going to be kind of hard to, you know, book it out of here, you know?
Yeah, we're stuck here too. We're in a very small area, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think the danger here is people more than it is creatures, right? So, I mean, at least, I mean, there's that.
Yeah, it could be everybody against us. I mean, it really could.
Well, yeah, I mean, hopefully not.
Yeah, I know, right? It's pretty scary to think about.
I mean, he said they were involved in like some supernatural shit, like, you know, like multiple things that they know for sure that they were involved in. So I mean, I guess it's not off the table, but I feel like
at some point, just to add, some of it was not like right now. Some of it's like centuries and decades ago.
Yeah.
So not all. It wasn't like right now we know they're summoning 3 different outer gods.
Right.
Yeah, but we don't know enough anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't give us enough fucking to go by.
I think we're going to have to go to this ball, and I think that we're going to have to send the pictures to what's his name there. And I think at that point we might get some info about people that we can target to try and get some more information from.
That's a good idea. So Neil, what we're thinking about doing is actually taking the pictures that Jack took and getting a hold of Wyatt and having him take a look into seeing if there are any people of note in those pictures.
Okay. Yeah, that would work. You can definitely get a hold of him. You have his number, so you can easily, it depends on what you want to do. They still have like the old school telephone booths in the lobby that you can use. If you really wanted, or you could use your cell phones, you could use, you know, whatever you want to do. You can
I'd like
him.
to. I'm going to upload the pictures to my Dropbox, and then I'm going to send links to the Wyatt dude, and I'm going to set the links to expire in like a day.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying, so no one else can get them like by the next day or whatever.
Yeah, he responds back with like a cheers. I'll take a look. And then assume he's doing that now.
Okay. Yeah. I almost think that right now, I think just, you know, going to that party and just kind of, you know, mingling and not trying to make it seem so obvious that we're kind of keeping an eye on people and but also, you know, do that, you know. I think I have a feeling tonight is going to be a good telling of maybe where we need to go from here. Hopefully.
Hey, what the hell did I study? Was I like an art historian or something? What the fuck was?
Good question.
You got 2 in occult studies.
Oh
no! What was his cover story? Oh, neo-phenomenology.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means, but
I didn't write that down.
New phenomenon. I guess I don't know what's neo-phenomenology.
I don't know. I think I just made it up.
Oh, well, then you have to make up what it is to somebody if they ask. So think about that one, and when someone asks you, they're going to be like, "What is that?" Or you're going to have to quickly make up something else to them on the spot. So, you know, I think that was your nice word for saying ghost hunter without saying ghost hunter, but I don't know.
No, okay, I get it. Neo-phenomenology will be it's a philosophy of it's the philosophical study of cutting-edge digital physics, where it's the melding of quantum and relativistic physics, where we're actually living in a computer simulation.
Oh, there you go. People something you can bullshit about, and people will have no idea if you're telling the truth or not. That's right. You can just make up whatever, and no one will know the difference because it's all a bunch of math. That you could literally scribble a bunch of shit down, and people, unless they do that, would be like, "That's complicated." That's a very. You should just get credit for coining that. As if they don't already have a term for whatever that field of study is, it should be that, and you should just get credit for it. And then
I could probably in real life. I could probably pull this off in real life and end up with some kind of salaried position at a college.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. You should look into the any local universities, see if you can get in there.
Well, no, actually, I can speak at the next Lovecraft convention.
There you go.
I'll make it up.
I'll record it and we'll post it.
Be pretty sweet. Okay. Is anything else going on during dinner?
I mean, we're just kind of loosely planning. Erin's thought was, I don't think you were there for the art. So the tattoos are representative of their, like, ascension, the chaos, and they're trying to move chaos into the world or whatever. And that the scenes of revelry in the ballroom and in the bar area could sort of represent that in a certain way. So his thought was to, like, be on the lookout for art or architecture or sculpture that may represent chaos in some kind of way. Of course, it's all subjective, but
sure. Okay. Which of you has architecture, by the way, just so I know who to tell things to? Not that you guys. Okay. Just checking.
I don't think
art or yeah. I can always history. We can. You guys really got to take some of these social science. Like, you guys got to take a social.
I have history. Class. That's all I have.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, two of you have history. What's happening?
Well, you want me to take art history instead?
Well, you didn't tell us to, like, talk it out. If we would have, like, made our own characters at the beginning, we would have been able to talk it out. We never did.
Oh, I thought you made your character. Didn't you make your characters?
We made our characters, but we never shared them with each other. Like,
well,
hey,
that's your own goddamn fault.
You can't get on us for that, then.
I told you guys to coordinate.
People know what they know.
You guys have gotten like 15 experience points.
You
should have every skill on that goddamn table.
No.
Every one of you should have every fucking skill at this point.
No.
How many skills are there?
I have a lot of fleeing, so I can flee.
Count them up, listeners, and then send me a message. Send John a message and tell him how many skills there are and how many experience points it would take to get a 1 in all of them. Because the answer is like 20.
Well, wait a minute. Are we banking experience points?
We're spending them as we're getting them.
Okay, because I still don't really know how any of this works. So
I've been updating your sheet.
It's only session 43.
Well, we don't get XP all the time either.
Yeah. Come on, we know Brett doesn't even have a D6 on him. Come on, give him could have just buy
group of all time.
Yeah, just buy a game of Farkle. It comes with a shit ton of D6s.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, don't you have Monopoly in your house somewhere? Just Risk, I don't know, something.
He's got Metallica Monopoly. I know he does. He's a metalhead. He's got to have it, right?
Yahtzee. There's a lot of them in Yahtzee.
Yeah, exactly. I got D6s coming out of my cornhole. I got so many over here.
So, do you want me to switch to art history? Could we do that like mid fucking? Because I think the rationale for his history was that he watched a lot of History Channel.
I was gonna say, Erin, I think with your background, I think you would have had that no problem.
Okay,
it's up to you. It's your character. I mean, if you want to play them to the hilt as purely what their background is, then sure, you can not take those things. But I would also assume at some point you're studying because of this, like running into this sort of stuff, right? You might bone up on some stuff.
Yeah.
Like, hey, sometimes art history has a lot to do with like cults and stuff. So like, I'm gonna like read up on that. or whatever. So like some of the stuff, it's probably not like you knew it. It's you learn it
You're learning. Yeah.
It
Okay,
might be useful.
I'll make it art history, and then I'll remember
Okay.
that the next time we get XP to spend and some other things.
Yeah, or you might want to make some shit up too, because there's blank lines. You can make up like digital
Neo-phenomenology.
like neo-phenomenology. Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So, are you guys, if you finish dinner, like, are you like gonna immediately go to the thing? Are you doing something in between?
No, we have to be late. On these kind of parties, you can't be early. You have to be fashionably late.
Okay. Well, dinner takes at least, so it says 9. You have to be like, dinner would take at least an hour and a half. So you're at 9 when dinner without dessert kind of stops. And then the question is, what do you do? It's up to you. What do you do after, between when you're showing up and now? It's 9 o'clock.
Let's go check out some of the lower floors, like the gym and the spa and stuff like that.
That's a good idea.
Because, we can look around and, we're going to want to use some of that stuff anyway. So might as well go check it out. It's a good way to waste time when you're at a hotel.
All right, do we want to go up front and ask? I don't know how clearly, like, it's just posted if there's big signs like gym on 4th floor or.
In the elevator, it does say where things were, but there wouldn't be signs in the main lobby anywhere because that's gauche.
Yeah.
But the elevator, the pool and gym are on the ground floor, at least as far as the thing said. An underground pool is not as cool usually. The spa is underneath. As well as some small shops, that sort of thing. Like fancy boutique type shops. And I don't remember what else. There's not a bowling alley, unfortunately. There is a bocce ball court, but it's got snow all over it right now. It's outside.
Hey, let's go check out the pool, because maybe there's some weird occult symbol at the bottom of the pool. Like in there. Seriously,
like a squid face
pool,
guy.
Man. Cthulhu lives in the water, man. It's everywhere.
Because it's probably an old pool, and maybe they got some kind of weird occult thing in the tiles or something on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go check it out. I mean, like Case says, you don't want to rush into these parties. We got to arrive a little late.
Okay. If you head toward the pool, you can ask somebody. They'll direct you there. The pool is like a very nice. It's like greenhouse style, like just open atrium with glass windows. That's heated, obviously, in the winter. It looks like they could open up in the summer, that sort of thing. So it's nice and relaxing. You don't notice any tiling that is a symbol. Sorry, I like to give you guys clues for things, but at some point, I think having like a devil worshipping symbol, like a pentagram at the bottom of your pool, seems a little obvious. Regardless of who built it. Not sure that ever went over well, especially back in the day. That's what witch hunts were for.
Any weird art, or is there any art at all?
No art
like
in the
Italian
pool
style
area.
mosaic?
Statuary?
Yeah, there could be statues. And there could be like mosaic with the tile. Yeah, there's the statues are sort of classical Greek looking style. Again, in this case, they're like Poseidon type deities. The mosaic doesn't necessarily coincide with that, but it's basically like evocative of water deities and like legend. So there is like it's like unfortunately not. There is it's more like there's actually like the mermaid, but then sort of the siren type call with like a man kind of being lured in type imagery. And then they have some other sort of classical tales type. Not necessarily, you wouldn't read it as a cult per se, but there are definitely it's old style sort of mythology type either mosaic work or statues, but not all from one period for sure. It looks like they were made at different times, different styles. So there are probably renovations done throughout the years.
I almost wonder if we should try downstairs, since we were talking about trying to find something, below level. Maybe we should try those shops and just kind of, on our way there, look around and see if we can find something.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything in here. This seemed like anything that's completely out of place. I mean, you could read something into it because of what we're looking for, but I mean,
is there anybody in the pool other than us?
There are a bunch of really fucking annoying kids. Like it's all like 9 to 12-year-olds be like, "Wah!" and they're trying to like splash you, and they're like, "Hey, fancy man, wah! My dad's a executive, and he owns a biotech company," and another kid's like, computers are cooler.
Annoying nerds, guys.
Cyber security. You don't know who my dad is. My dad, we had Mark Zuckerberg at our barbecue last 4th of July. And then you hear like, who cares about that? We own all of the Volkswagen dealerships in Berlin. That's way cooler. We have so many Jettas and Golfs. It's crazy. And then
Jettas, kid's yes. I'm so impressed.
Another kid's like, shut up your mouth. We make a Lamborghini.
Oh my god, that was the worst. I love it.
He's like, we make a Lamborghini by hand. It's a special order only. My dad is so much cooler than your dad. I've driven on the racetrack so many times. And they're like, no, you haven't. You can't drive. You're 10. He's like, my dad lets me. That's how cooler my dad is. He's a rock and roll star in Wheel of Cause, but you don't know.
Erin just walks out. He's like, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I guess they head down, to where the shops and stuff are.
You go down, there's definitely, when you go kind of down, there are signs, kind of like fancy signs that say like spa this way, and then the shops are the same way. And then down the other way, the other direction, there's kind of like the maintenance access doors. They look nice, like wooden, ornately carved, but it's like staff only.
I try to open one of them and see if they're locked.
No, it's open. Ooh. If you open it, you look down, and it's significantly less fancy, obviously. It's still nice. Like, it's still well maintained, but it looks very much like the staff goes there. So it's like laundry and like mechanical stuff and like the boilers and that sort of stuff is sort of what's beyond. There's not really a ton of activity at the moment. Most of the staff is active during the day, but It's not locked.
So Aaron's kind of like looking around, and he looks over. He's like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Well, hey, I'm just curious, man. You ain't gonna blow anything. I'm just curious.
So he looks around. Like, is anybody down there? Is anybody looking around?
You don't see anyone. There's no one there at the moment. I mean, there are security cameras if someone was watching them, but yeah, there's no people at the moment. Although you assume there are some staff likely still on premises, but for the most part, you would assume. Do any of you have hotel management as a skill? No, like housekeeping and all that stuff's mostly doing laundry and shit during like workday hours. So right now it's unlikely to be a ton of people there other than some maintenance folks I'm sure are on staff, that sort of thing. But that is the area that like all of the facilities and control stuff for that is, that sort of thing.
Okay. I don't peek in there as long as like it seems like I do. I just kind of open it, kind of shrug my shoulders nonchalantly and shut the door. No harm, no foul. I'm not doing anything where it looks like
nobody saw you. There's no one there.
Whatever. Yeah. The cameras may tell a different tale, but I just like whatever. I'm just pretending to be a pesky customer. So
you're probably not the only person who ever opened a staff-only door just to see what's down it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. It's not like you're like creeping around like dun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're not doing the Scooby-Doo thing. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. I think you're fine.
Is there anything different with like any art down here, or does it look like something that
there's not a lot of art down here? This one, like definitely down the staff way, that's like utilitarian. That's all just bare walls. It is stone instead of like concrete or anything, so it was stone built, likely by hand, which again lends it this cool like old school castle feel. But there's the art down here. I'd say the art down here is more tame for sure. It's more landscapes and tranquil type paintings. Tapestries, that sort of thing, particularly leading into the spa area. It's definitely more of the more tranquility, more calming type landscape work versus the revelry that was upstairs. Okay.
What about the shops? Do the shops, you said they're kind of boutique and stuff like that. Is there anything there that's out of the ordinary, or is it just
the shops they're definitely boutique. So there's obviously like a menswear shop, custom menswear. There's a woman's like dress, skirt, blouse boutique type clothing boutique. There's like a purse shop and accessory shop. There's a haberdashery. That's a hat shop for you not fancy folks. I hate myself. There's also a shoe store that has both men and women's. No, there's one women's, one men's store. They keep it like specific. And then there's sort of like there's no one there, but there is like the shoe shining stand. And then the doors to the spa are open. It says open 24 hours. And the spa has like sort of relaxing orchestral music playing, symphony type music, and sort of a nice lavender smell that's calming, kind of wafting out of the doors.
I don't believe this calming noise. I bet you there's something sinister going on down here.
Well, I tell you what, man. Before we leave, I'm coming down here to get a fucking massage. That's like,
you know what's funny? The thing that's funny though is I'm so jealous of your fucking awesome fedora. I might have to buy one at the haberdashery before we leave, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, these are super comfortable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd definitely invest in one of those. It's going to complete your look. I'm going to tell you, it's going to tie it all together.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they sell old aviator caps and goggles so I can complete my steampunk look.
Might be able to find that shit in town, man. Like steampunk, that's probably super big. Like it's big at home, right? So you can probably find that stuff here.
Yeah.
Well, like a comic shop or something.
I'm sure you could always have that custom made as well. Haberdashery could always do a collabo with the accessory store that clearly would have leather. So you could always have them craft some things for you if you really needed. You have a week and you are fancy.
Yep. Get my aviator cap.
I don't know how well that would go over with the clientele here because aviator cap as a guest is weird. Probably to rich people, but you can wear it for sure.
Yeah. If he's an eccentric, that's what he can do.
I mean, he's wearing a cape and a monocle right now, so like.
That's probably where we're getting all the
Wait,
looks.
do you or don't you have a top hat? Did you have a top hat?
I don't remember.
I know you had a cape and like the leather gothic.
I think I had a Western bowler.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
So then Erin like turns and he looks. He's like, "Damn, Case, you're the only one without a hat."
I know. What's the deal with that?
I didn't notice it before, but now you're talking about hats and whatnot. We should go in right now.
That sounds great.
Are the stores open?
They close at 9, but there are people in there. Like the doors, it's like glass, right? Like the glass metal doors. So you see people in there. The lights are on. They're kind of finishing up paperwork or whatever. So that's up to you.
Does it look like there's customers in there, or it's just like
there
the
are
staff
not customers per se? There aren't customers per se. You do notice an older lady in the accessory store kind of looking at purses and stuff, and a somewhat annoyed looking younger girl manning the counter. Seemingly, like, it's kind of like, hurry it up, lady. But that doesn't mean you couldn't go in or check stuff out.
Yeah. Let's yeah, I'll basically just be like, it looks like they're closing up shop right now. So let's
come back tomorrow.
Let's can it. We got a week.
All right, that's fair. I mean, we both know that in the closing time it sucks to have somebody walk in, but if we were super rich, we just
it does. But you're very rich,
yeah,
supposedly, and they do what they want.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, we could always come back.
Yep.
As an out of character note, I don't want to make you think like that there's nothing valuable or nothing to be gained. It is like that's sort of a normal hour, but you could go in. That's why I said you could go in. So that's your call, and the consequence is yours for interacting with someone walking in 10 minutes after they close as a rich person. You could do it. So I'm just saying, but you have plenty of time.
Yeah, I don't think Erin would do it because he'd be on the bar late, and people would like fucking walk in like right at closing, and the hostess would be like, you get that look and like, fuck, whatever. You wind up getting stuck for like another hour.
Yep, happened to me so many times when I worked fast food in high school. It was real bad.
Yep, and that's why you spit in all their food, didn't you?
I still never saw that. That was the crazy thing. No one ever did that where I worked. It was crazy.
That's good. That's good. We never did.
Not crazy.
We never did that.
There's a town in West Virginia, I can tell you, that I never once in 3 years saw them spit in anyone's food. So
yeah, we did that at Hardee's. Oh, I hated everyone that did that. But hey,
yeah,
that's for another day.
Yep.
So Erin looks at his watch then, and he's like, "Oh, I guess we should get up to the party, huh?"
Tally ho! Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
You head back up to the ballroom. There definitely seems to be, as you're walking toward there, several people making their way there. Women in fairly elegant gowns, men in tuxedos or whatever suits. Everyone looks fairly dashing. As you get closer, you hear like a band playing. It's sort of the swing jazz style music playing. And as you get there, there's like 4 doors that kind of open or into one big opening into the ballroom. And now the dining room has been transformed. There are tables still with the bar, and then a partition kind of opens up into the larger ballroom. There's a live band playing. People are, at this point, in full swing. There are people with drinks. There's, probably, you feel like everyone at the hotel is there. Like, just so many people. The dance floor is packed. People are dancing like crazy and having fun already. It's definitely a good vibe, a good party, from what you can see.
Is it young and old, or is this more of the younger crowd that Schelling is sort of pushing the hotel towards?
It's both. You definitely see the younger crowd right now is definitely more at the bar. They are getting drinks and they're flirting and they're doing that sort of thing. The older crowd is sort of at the tables, kind of near the dance floor, but they're more like sipping wine or champagne. But then there's like right now the older crowds on the dance floor, kind of old stuff, old school ballroom, foxtrot type.
Just swing jazz?
Well, you can foxtrot to it, sort of. You could swing also, but either of the two. Foxtrot you could do. It's pretty generic of a dance. So yeah, it's more older folks now. They're not like, it's not like crazy swing right now. It's more like
Moonlight in Vermont.
Well, it's more like Count Basie style type, like brassy jazz, but not like the super fast crazy town stuff.
It's not 1 o'clock jump right now.
No. And so that's sort of the vibe right now.
Well, Jack kind of just takes a position, peripherally to the dance floor. He just stands there looking really cool with his cape, and he just stands there.
Okay. What are the rest of you two doing?
Shit, I don't know. He looks to Randy like, we just spread out. What do you like? Look at the Jacques over there, like commanding the whole room.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Erin. How many parties have I been to in my life? Not very many. So, I think I'm just gonna grab some drinks. You want a drink?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Anything in particular?
I don't drink whiskey, but he would order some kind of like high top shelf, whiskey. Because now he like totally feels the part. You've got the swing music, so you've got like the 40s-ish music going. He's in fedora, like he's completely in character at this point.
Yeah. Pappy Van Winkle it is.
So he gets it neat.
That is one of the best whiskeys you'll ever find, if you can find it anywhere.
Yeah. So Randall will probably go up to the bar and get a couple of those, one for himself too, even though he's not a huge hard liquor kind of guy. He just feels like this is the time to do it.
Okay. It looks like the bartending group the bartenders that were there at dinner have left. There are new bartenders there now. You get a drink, you get a Pappy Neat, and whatever you order, it's not of uber importance unless you really want to specify what you're getting. What is I know your last name, but I don't remember the first.
Case.
Nah, Charles, what's he doing? I should just use Erin so that everyone knows who's doing what.
I mean, I guess he stands with Randy. They'll like clink glasses and.
Okay. If you guys go to get drinks together, if you follow him, while Jack/Jacques is standing there, Randy/Case notices the woman who was looking at the group earlier that you noticed, the sort of later 30s lady, well dressed, again, still looking very elegant, hair sort of up, sort of like fancy, done, neat, tidy, formal. Struts up pretty confidently to Jacques and introduces herself. She puts her hand out and says, seems we have a new visitor to the hotel. I have not seen you here before. Are you a new guest?
Yes. I just arrived here tonight with my two friends. Are you a regular, or are you not new here yourself?
You could say I'm a regular. My family spends quite a bit of time here. I'm Delphine Lutzinger. Pleasure. Holds out her hand.
Jack takes it, kind of kisses her hand.
Quite the gentleman, I can see.
And yes, Delphine, that's quite a unique name, at least for where I'm from.
It's not that uncommon in Switzerland.
Well, it's an uncommonly beautiful name, as is this hotel. Uncommonly beautiful. And has your family lived here for a long time?
Yes. We are locals, as you say. I don't like to brag, but we are technically royalty. My title is Countess.
Oh, my title is Doctor. May not be quite
a doctor. What are you a doctor of? I knew such a man with such eclectic sense of style would have an interesting story to tell, and I love a good story.
Well, I am a neo-phenomenologist,
and what is that? What is neo-phenomenology?
Well, to be brief, because not everybody enjoys hearing about it.
Oh, I assure you, something so fascinating as that I have to know about.
Well, to make it as brief as possible, neo-phenomenology is the philosophical underpinning of cutting-edge physical theory called digital physics, in which we essentially live in a digital simulation, almost like a computer game. And it's a way to resolve the differences between quantum physics and relativistic physics.
What? This sounds you must tell me of this, but during a dance, if you will. She holds out her hand to try to get you to go to the dance floor.
Well, Jacques totally suspicious because he knows that they were looking at them before, at the dinner, and this chick doesn't realize that they know. So he totally goes in, pretending that he is kind of, he's hiding the fact that he's completely suspicious. So he goes and dances with her.
Okay. So as you're dancing, she makes conversation. She seems extremely fascinated, and she starts obviously flirting with you. And she constantly is like, she's always like, ooh, these muscles. You're she's like, you're such, I'll tell you what, you just don't get this in European men. You're so rugged and handsome.
Well, and now his character is from America, from Boston, right? Is that where I'm from?
I don't know what you said.
Make it up. Keep going, Brett. Make that backstory.
Yeah, let's say I'm from Boston, and I think I am from Boston because I think I told the owner guy about the cigar shop on Gloucester Street or something, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. That's right. Yep. Okay.
Were you at Miskatonic? Is that where you got your? Is that where you were doing your stuff at?
I should have thought of that, but I don't think I thought of that. No. So I make some joke about lumberjacking or something in the United States, and about the muscles.
She's like, oh, surely a lumberjack is not so sophisticated as you, but you have his muscles. How is this? You're like a paradox.
So, he chuckles and he asks her more about her background. What's she doing here? What is she? Does she? If she's technically royal, did she attend university or does she just do, royal type things?
Yes. It's quite boring. My family has been here for thousands of years, at least in this particular area. Yes, we own land and have done well for ourselves. Unfortunately, I did attend university, but I'm not being utilized as I should. Most of my job is to be pretty face and some of our charities and charitable events, which I am totally willing to do. I find it quite fulfilling to help as much as we can. And we use our wealth to do whatever we can for those less fortunate than us. But I think my mind would be better spent somewhere else. Perhaps studying such things as this neophenomenology or something. Probably not that. That seems maybe a little out of my league. But yes, we've been here for quite some time. We vacation here quite often. And my family is usually, one of my family members is usually here at some point in time.
Are you here alone, or are you with one of your family members?
Oh, I'm here with my brother. And she points to a guy on the dance floor who's like really hamming it up. He's got like a couple young girls now that he's convinced to dance. He's probably in his 40s, looking very dapper. He also has sort of the like classic suit with fedora type look going on.
Son of a bitch.
Right. And he is really hamming it up with the lady. She's like, he's a bit of a, how you say, potty boy. He never takes life too seriously. But I love him. He's my brother.
Well, I said, my friends and I, we're going to be here for the better part of a week. I'd love to meet your brother sometime.
Oh, of course. I must introduce you. I'm sure he'll find you quite fascinating. At that point, he does kind of like turn over and he's like, out of the way, American brute. My sister has to dance. And he grabs her and kind of takes her sort of away and dances off a bit. Let's cut back to Randy and Erin / Case / Charles. Jesus Christ. I've had too much scotch for this, guys. At the bar, you notice this lady is like, this like very fancy lady is all over Jack. / Jacques. And you're kind of, I assume you find it somewhat amusing because he seems a little uncomfortable with the fact that she's throwing herself at him. But you're watching as you drink. Everyone's kind of party in full swing at this point.
Yeah, he keeps his glass in his hand the whole time. And he looks to Randy and he's like, "Can you believe that shit? Look at that. I think she asked him to dance."
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, that's one of the ladies that was looking at us the whole time. So she was giving him Google eyes.
I wonder if that's what she was looking for. Maybe she's all into to Jack.
Yeah, she wanted that jacked up character. Get it? I put Jack in his name. It's fun.
As you're talking, the guy that you notice her point and say something at a little later, a guy in a slick suit, fedora, walks by and just quickly grabs Erin's whiskey, downs it, and says, "Ah, that's fantastic. You must meet me on the dance floor later, sir. We're going to party it up. Let me grab the ladies," and hands you back the drink glass. And he just starts he goes and beeline straight to a table of super hot debutante girls, and reaches his hand out, and they giggle and go off with him. And that's when he starts dancing on the dance floor. And then a little later, you see the lady kind of point him out to Jack about something.
He just he's so stunned. He doesn't even say anything. He just stands there for a minute with the fucking glass in his hand. And then he turns around. He's like, "What? That motherfucker's wearing, that looks like the same fucking suit. Drank fucking whiskey. Son of a," he's getting worked up. He's like, "God, fucking," he straightens out his suit. That
Yeah. Randy gives him a look and he goes, "Dude, fuck that guy."
Oh my God, I hope he's the guy. I hope he's the guy so we can fucking kill him.
Hey, sounds good to me, because if he's in cahoots with that dude that took me down, man, I'm okay with giving him a few just to, send a few shots home to, through that dude,
Son of a bitch.
You hear you see a waiter comes up to you with a fresh glass and hands it to Erin. Is like, "Oh, I see you. I see the Duke Lutzinger got you."
Is this a common occurrence? Then?
It's one of his moves. It honestly, it impresses the ladies.
If you
it's
say
you might call it. Sounds like you're American. It's what we would call. It's what they call here a power move. He grabs your drink, looks like the alpha dog, walks over, picks up the ladies, and has a good time for the rest of the evening.
All right.
How's this part for a power move? And Randy walks up to Duke and turns him around and socks him.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
So Erin doesn't know what to do. She's like, "What's this for power move?" And he's like, "What the fuck is Randy?" And then what?
I do have to ask for a scuffling to see if you hit him.
Sounds good to me.
We got to roll some dice at some point during this session.
Yep, I'm cool with dice. I'm not afraid.
He's only a 3.
Cool. All right. Well, you know what? Just because I feel like having some fun here, I've got some points in scuffling, so I'll spend 1.
Okay.
That's a 4.
You sock him straight in the fucking nose. And he kind of staggers back and falls to the ground. It's like, "Scheisse! Was ist das?"
And
basically,
I just fuck, he's got his hands out,
and the girls are like, "What's happening?" They're like, they're like, yeah, they're also like, "What's happening?"
Yeah. So basically, I just look.
For?
Yeah. So basically, Randy or Case looks down at him and goes, "In America, we don't steal another man's drink or person's drink for that matter."
I was just playing around. I didn't. What a brute. I'll tell you what, how about I buy you the next round? We're all good friends, right? We're all friends here.
Erin runs over at this point. He's like, hey, it's like,
don't hit me.
No.
Okay.
He goes to put his hand on Randy's shoulder. It's like, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
No, so basically, Randy does another, just puts his hand on Erin and just like stops him, like, don't tell me what to do. And then he holds out his hand and helps Duke up.
He's like,
the Duke.
Good. Thank you for helping me up. It's look, we're all friends here. Let me get you the next round, eh? And he waves a hand. He's like, we have everything here to enjoy ourselves. We have beautiful ladies. We have beautiful drinks. Let's just have fun, eh? And he's like, let's all dance. And then kind of pumps up the crowd a little bit. And the girls start going crazy. And a couple of them kind of go up to Randy and Erin and start sort of not grinding, but being like, hey, let's do this, let's dance, in whatever accents you would like to imagine.
Let's do. I'm gonna imagine the horrible Italian accent you did with the kid. So
okay,
I'll pretend it's that.
The girl's like, hey.
Sorry, our Italian fans, for all.
My name is Angelina, and we're let's dance. That does not
great.
I don't know what Italian for dance is. I apologize.
Nice. Randy kind of almost fights it off for a little bit because that's kind of his character. He's trying to play this, kind of cold lawyer type or whatever, but he kind of gets into it and then dances a little bit just to kind of fit in. He knows that he fucked up by doing what he did, but also it's kind of his character would do that. So he's kind of doesn't really regret for doing it, so.
And as you're doing that, the girl starts really trying to get you to dance more. She's fucking ridiculously gorgeous brunette, Italian, super exotic, beautiful lady. And as Lutzinger kind of swings by, he's like, she is beautiful, no? Yes, keep dancing. And then kind of is just twirls along with a girl. Meanwhile, a super gorgeous blonde Swedish is starts sort of dancing with Erin or trying to get him to dance as well.
Yeah, Erin will do it. He was shocked that the guy took his drink, and then even more shocked that Randy punched him. So he just goes with it. He's just I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. So he does bad 90s things. So he's got his drink up, and he's kind of
as you're kind of doing that, and as the punch happens, his sister Delphine kind of giggles at Jack's your friend certainly took my brothers down a peg. He probably deserved it.
And Jack's playing the game here, but he's just suspicious. He's looking at these chicks now, kind of ordered up by what's his face dancing with the other two guys. And he's really feeling like it's a setup here in some way, but he's going to play the game with what's her name there, Delphine. And he makes up some crap about, how Randy's a lawyer and he doesn't have very good social skills. And, this kind of stuff. No way, man. I'm not paranoid. I'm smart. And so, but he's see, Jack knows a lot more about the ladies than Randy and
Oh, burn.
many names.
So
And
Erin.
Charles Goschel.
Charles/Slasher, yeah.
So he's not laying it on too thick because he knows that he's got to leave her wanting more. So he definitely invites her to dance, but he takes her to kind of like sort of away, like off to the side where there's not as many people.
Okay.
So they can have like some privacy and stuff.
Okay. When she gets over, she's like, no more dancing. So you want to maybe talk more in private, Zen? Mr. Muscles, and she like squeezes your arm a little.
No, he's gonna, and then Jack, starts like slow dancing with her, but it's just off more privately. So he is dancing.
Sure. Okay.
Not like slow dancing and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Private dancer, dancing for money.
She's definitely into it, and she's like, I meet so many Americans that are they're very offensive and brash. Your friend punched my brother for, well, I don't know what, but it was probably worded. My brother's he's a little full of himself, so I can imagine that happens. But you seem a little more stoic. I like that. And I like this style. The leather with the cape, it's like masculine, but then also fanciful. So sexy.
Well, in my line of work, I come up with lots of interesting ideas, and nobody really tells me what to do. People just let me be. And so I'm that way with pretty much everything. I don't need permission to do anything. So I dress how I want to dress. I can afford it. It's all custom made. And so I really don't care. I do what I like to do.
I love it. That's the way everyone should live. That's how I live. I do what I want. I'm afforded that luxury. I'm glad you are as well. And I'm glad now that we have a chance to dance. This has been fun. I hope we can continue our conversations. I'm interested in what you do. Of course, what I do is quite bland most of the time, just greeting people and shaking hands and that sort of thing. But we do some good, I hope.
Well, you must know many of the people who are here regularly at the hotel.
I do know a few of them, yes. Oh, we're here quite often, so yes, I know several of the regulars.
Well, let me buy you a drink, and he takes her over to the bar, and buys her a drink or asks what she wants or whatever.
I'll take a martini, extra dirty.
Jack just whips it out right there.
Yep.
No, he doesn't do
American men are so crass, and they
yeah. Check out my dog.
Yeah, exactly. Wait a minute, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna take a picture of him and send it to you first, and then I'll
what's your digits? I'm gonna send a dick pic.
No,
America.
So Jack buys the drink, and again, he's thinking to himself, he's like, he knows he could just like take her to bed if he wanted to that night, but he feels like he really needs to kind of nurture it over a couple of days, maybe, because he just wants more information. Because he feels like something's wrong.
Sure. Okay. She takes the drink. You just have a pleasant conversation. She's not too forward. She does flirt with you a lot. But yeah, she's not like overly pressuring you to like do anything per se. It's more just
Not
like
grab at my junk.
that's right. She's not like, give me them balls, because that's what you want out of a lady. Everybody wants a lady that yells, give me them balls, and grabs at them. It's pretty much universal. The more you know, ladies. Do that. Every guy loves it. So Erin and Randy are kind of living it up, dancing with these girls. Lutzinger at some point orders more drinks, and then kind of like music gets pumped up a little as sort of the older crowd starts kind of phasing out. You get a little more like the techno swing type electro swing vibe going, and like all the young people are now out party, like it's kind of a dance party, crazy time celebration. Everyone's boozing. I'm sure there's other things happening in the bathrooms before people come back out to, party. So there's no crazy drug use out in the open though. So
Aaron will drink, but he'll be careful of what he's like. He's not going to drink to excess. Like they're not at home. So like he doesn't want to wind up in a position he can't extricate himself from.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, he'll have a good time.
Okay. How's Randy handling the situation?
He's acting like he's loosening up a little bit. He's kind of dancing and stuff like that. I wonder. I think what he would do after a while, as everything kind of loosens up and people are starting to be chatty and stuff like that, I think he's gonna, talk to the Duke and just kind of like apologize. It's just something, to apologize for hitting him. Just the whole incident is something that just doesn't happen usually. So, but he kind of hints at like, this is great and all, but like, there's got to be something else. There's got to be something better.
He's like, oh, no problem. I get this a lot. Sometimes I press boundaries. Does that make sense in English?
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Yeah. I mean, the party never stops here. Every night, it's a party. We're rich. We're successful. We should celebrate, right? So that's what we do. We celebrate.
Well, let's celebrate then.
I don't know what you mean. What do you? This is it. We have gorgeous ladies. We have drinks. We have the fun. We have the music. What else would you want? I can get. I mean, if you want some extra bump, then I'm sure we can get drugs. Whatever you Americans want, I can do that. I'm sure. Whatever you want, I can get. No hard feelings.
Okay. I thought there would. I see you're pretty good with partying, and I appreciate it all, but I don't know. I don't think you're enough of a party person, for me. But I'll play your game. We'll have fun.
So like on the notice skill wise, you notice he's definitely uncomfortable with the line of questioning.
Okay.
Yeah. It's sort of thrown him off balance a bit because you get the feeling he's not sure what you're asking, but he's not sure he likes what you're asking either.
Nice. So if I notice that, then I'll just pretend like, like it was just a passing thing, like, oh, I was kind of hoping there would be something else, but then he'll just go back to pretending like he's having a great time, even though technically he's not having the best time because he's kind of out of his element. So,
okay. As the night goes on, I'm not sure what you guys. So the count or the countess keeps dancing. She's more than happy to have like polite conversation. She's not throwing herself at you per se. So if you're not making any moves, she still plays the game, although she keeps flirting. The girls with you are having fun. They're like, "Oh, we're so tired," or like, "Oh, my shoes hurt." Oh, a boopa de beppo. Oh, my zapatos. I don't know what's Italian for shoe. Spanish. I think it's zapato.
So I think
so.
that
They want to like go back to your room or their room or wherever. Everyone's partying, and the Duke is like, you should definitely go as he's late. This party, we can all come to my place if you want to party. My suite is big enough for everybody.
Randy or Erin looks at Randy, and he, kind of gives him like a half shrug. Erin is thinking, if they're in on it, it could be a way for them to get more info. If nothing else, to have a good time.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, Randy's like, "We'll follow you."
He like laughs and he's like grabs a couple other girls and some other guys even, and is like, "Everybody, party in the penthouse!" And then sort of everybody goes, and it's at that point you guys leave with him. Jack sees the rest of the other two kind of going out with the Countess's brother to somewhere. Seems like there's a whole entourage.
Oh. So Jack grabs what's her name's hand and says, "Well, wait, how about you and I just take a walk? Maybe you can show me some of the areas of the hotel that are not quite so crowded."
Oh, I'd be happy to. I know this hotel like the back of my hand. What would you like to see? I would say we could walk the grounds, but it might be a little cold where I might have to snuggle close.
Well, and then Jack takes his cape and kind of like puts the cape over, and says, "Yeah, you won't be too cold." So
okay. She goes with you and sort of starts walking the grounds. She points out there's like the gardens. Obviously, everything's pretty much dead, snow covered. She points out a lot of the historical like sites. There were like battles there, or like an army hold up. In the very, very pre-gun days of like holding out at the hotel as like a last ditch effort, and then they heroically fend off the invaders, that sort of thing. And then she's kind of showing you the ski slopes, that sort of stuff. And then also, as you're kind of going around the grounds, sort of at the back, it kind of goes down a little hill, and there's a frozen pond with like a lake house. And she's like, that's the old lake house. That's it's been here since the hotel was built. Quite strange for such a structure. Most of the time you think it would have fallen apart, but no, they've kept it and maintained it throughout the years. You can even ice skate on it now. It's if only we had our skates. I love skating.
Fascinating. So Jack finally like takes her and like gives her a kiss, and he's not like groping her or anything, but he's definitely like making them.
She definitely kisses you back and is flirting with you because she thinks you're like big, strong American, sexy guy. Because you're definitely bigger and stronger than the other two you're with. So, ex-wrestler guy is like big muscle guy to her. She's like, maybe we could go back to my suite or yours if you'd like. I don't mean to be forward.
And Jack says, I'd love to see your suite.
Fantastic. It's follow me. So she will walk you toward the suite. We'll cut to Randy and Erin.
So what? I mean, Aaron's having fun, but he's also like trying to, keep an eye towards, is there something funky up here? So what, he's taking in the room. Is there weird art? Does he have, he's kind of looking, if he's got a bookshelf, he's, as they're kind of like dancing around, drinking, whatever, like he'll, peruse the books to see if anything, is there a Necronomicon? Is there, anything that seems like, wow, why would a rich douche have, Crowley's occult, whatever,
As you're kind of going around, it's definitely a party. The Duke is having a good time. He's entertaining everyone. He doesn't pay attention really to what you guys are up to. Everyone's just partying it up. He has like a old school record player, an all vinyl collection of music. As you're looking around, you don't notice anything. It's a hotel room, so it is his hotel room, but like this is more like the entertaining area, where this is a little bigger than yours. Obviously, it's like got a full like dining room, living room, kitchen, very fancy sort of area, and then his bedroom is sort of through a set of doors that you are not currently. You haven't like gone in there unless you tell me you go in there. And so yeah, that's you don't notice anything particularly off. Although as you kind of, I guess it wouldn't necessarily be seen as weird, but you do notice there's no food or anything in the kitchen. It's also all booze.
All right.
If Erin and Randy are in the like same spot or whatever, and no one's really listening, Randy kind of goes, "Well, this guy doesn't know his priorities. While he's looking at the booze and no food."
He kind of looks at you like that's the takeaway. Like what? These people are like super rich. They don't give a shit about anything.
Well, they should, because food is awesome.
Man, I know. I get it. 9 courses. How could you still be hungry?
Well, dude, have you met me? Come on.
I know.
I eat. I live. I watch a lot of movies. That's my deal. And apparently sock rich people in the face now. That's my
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? You punched the Duke in the face.
Yeah, but come on. He was being a dick.
Well, yeah, I was like super pissed off, but like I was gonna punch him in the face.
Well, hey, we have an excuse. I'm an American. I'm dumb. I do stupid stuff. So you know what? Hey, I'm just living it.
Hey man, no harm, no foul. I mean, fuck, we're in the room. Like, did you see it? Did he have a tattoo on his arm? Did you notice?
No, he doesn't have anything. I don't think there's anything with him.
He doesn't have a tattoo. You do notice, oddly though, Randy seemed to get him real good. Like, it was a full-on nose punch, fucking like straight in the fucking nose. He does not seem at all injured though. Like no swelling, no bruising, which is weird. You're not sure what that means, but it does seem odd to you as the night goes on that it seems weird that he would not have any.
His eyes don't
visible. No, nothing.
Yeah.
You would have thought he would have had at least like broken potentially nose, but if nothing else, swollen or red. Or like black eye, but no, he looks totally fine, and he is like partying it up, fucking crazy town.
Yeah. So Erin Erin has a bottle of booze that he's looking at in the fridge or whatever, and then he has his like usual suspects moment where he thinks like, oh, he doesn't have a bruise. Randy clocked him really good, you know, and then he drops the bottle and hits the ground.
I mean, how hard did you hit that guy?
Oh, I laid on him.
I mean, like his eyes didn't, like, they're not black and blue. Like, his face isn't red. Like,
He wasn't even bleeding, was he?
no, I don't think so. I didn't see him wipe his face or nothing. There's nothing on his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you hit him hard?
Hey man, remember we've been doing, you know, some pretty good training and stuff like that. I clocked him hard. Knocked him on his ass at least.
Randy's hand is definitely more swollen than the guy's face. And that was just and he knew he was punching. So he was ready for it.
I mean, like, I know, like, alcohol makes you like your muscles loose and shit. Like, you know, when alcoholics get in a car accident, they don't like get hurt a lot of times, right? But like, you punch him in the face, like his nose should be swollen, right?
Yeah. Well, and then think about it. Okay, you just picked on me for saying take away that he doesn't have any food, but guess what? He's not eating. All he's doing is drinking, and he looks like he's just fine. You know, he doesn't look like. Does he look like he's like this? You know, flailing alcoholic.
Well, I mean, if they do
He's
this
actually
every night,
quite in good shape as well. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, maybe all he does is like work out and fucking drink. Like, I don't like if you drink all the time.
Like,
boy,
I understand that, but if you do nothing but drink and do not eat, you will not look like that.
Well, I mean, I wasn't watching him all night. Maybe he had like a big lunch. The fuck do I know? What are you? Wait a minute. Let me get this. Are you saying this guy's like a fucking vampire? Is that what you're saying?
Oh shit, he could be.
Fuck, that's not a cult. That's like a fucking monster. That's another goddamn monster.
Hey, they're all monsters. They're all monsters.
Oh man, fuck! Don't fall asleep here.
Well, maybe we should excuse ourselves.
Should we? I mean, I don't know.
Well, maybe we stay up as long as we can and see what happens. But yeah, definitely not falling asleep here. Maybe we should. Maybe we should try to talk the other girls into coming into our room instead of his.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
But then again, they could be vampires, so you don't know.
Man, you're getting me all fucking paranoid now.
I know. Well, just look at their necks. Just make sure there's no bites or anything, you know.
But I don't know. I mean, like, what kind of vampire mythology are we talking about, right? So, like, if he bit them and turned them into vampires, would that shit, like, heal up, right? Because they have, like, super regeneration and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. There's too many goddamn Dracula vampire bullshit, you know. Like, if he starts sparkling, I'm definitely out of here.
All right, look, let's just ride this shit out to the end. And we'll see what happens, right? Like, and then maybe we could just, like, fucking, you know, bail out when everybody's sleeping.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
Everything in here looks normal, right? I mean, like, I don't know if this is like,
except for all the booze in the thing.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
food.
No, I mean, I get the booze.
No, not the booze. The no food. That's the part I'm trying to tell you. And he's ripped.
All right. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe pop open some of the cabinets in the kitchen. Tell them you're hungry.
Hey, there you go.
Tell them where's the grub. Just ask them where's the grub.
Yeah, I'll go. So I go in there, you know, just be like, I'll pretend like I'm more drunk than I actually am, and I'll just be like, "Hey, man, where's the food, man? I need some. I can go all night, but I need a little bit of something to keep me going."
Oh, that's fun. Yes, whatever you want. Order the room service, 24 hours.
Oh, is that what you do? Or room service all the time?
Of course. Why not? It's delicious, no?
Oh, I thought you were one of those night and P90 95X dudes that like, because all you've got is booze in your thing, man.
What,
dude, do you like?
What is P90?
Are you a vegan? What's going on?
What's a P90? What is it? P27?
Oh, I don't know. It's one of those workout things.
P92. What?
Yeah, it's one of those workout things where you get the abs and stuff. You look pretty ripped, right?
I mean, I do all right. I stay in shape. Yes. How
do you do that?
Well, you have to have as a booze to party, right, girls? Everybody drink up, and then like everyone kind of like does shots. He's like shots, and then he's like, yes, everyone has a party, right? America, shots party.
Deflection. All right.
But no, yes, if you want some food, just order whatever. How about we get just order one of everything, right? Everybody, and everyone's like, one of everything.
Christ.
And then like some like girl gets on there, she's like, we want one of everything, and then like
nice.
Throws up in a garbage can. And then like he's like just parties on, dances on through like the crowd. It's definitely pretty wild in here at this point. Everyone's just drinking like fucking mad and like partying and dancing.
Is the bedroom the only door that's closed? Like, how many doors are off from the main area? I'm thinking maybe when he goes to talk to him, if it's kind of like out of the way, maybe Erin would go and like at least do what Randy did, kind of like crack the door open and just kind of like peek his head in.
Sure. The only door is really closed. I mean, there's like closets that are closets, or pretty sure would be closets. But the bedroom door is the only one's really closed.
Okay, yeah. So he would kind of like surreptitiously sort of start making his way over there. Like he'll stagger a little bit. He'll take a drink, put a drink down, grab a drink off of a table with no intentions of drinking it. And
sure. When you open the door, you look into the bedroom and you notice immaculate. Okay. Totally immaculate. As if no one has even used it.
Well, I mean, it is a hotel, so I mean, if he's been out all day, it could have been
yeah,
made, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
or if he's a vampire and his never mind.
Right. So Erin looks and he's cool. Yeah, good housekeeping, like a high-end hotel. And then he hears Randy in like the back of his head, there's no food. There's no food. It's like, fucking could be like a goddamn. And he like pulls the door closed real quick and he like looks to see if anybody's like, looking where he is.
No one's noticed you. No one seems to care at all. It's party time.
Okay. There wasn't. I mean, it's just like a hotel room, right? So there's nothing.
Yes, at least in the bedroom. It's just, but it is. You didn't see anything. You don't know if like he unpacked. There's like no luggage or anything. It's just a room.
Right. Could be in the closet. The door was off. Or the lights
you
off,
didn't
right?
really see. You didn't you didn't go in and investigate anything, so you have no idea. But yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get like he got that like his like now his heart is pounding because now he's almost convinced that the guy's a fucking vampire. So he comes back out around and he looks for Randy and like he'll kind of like dance walk around a couple of people, like he'll be walking, a girl turns around, like starts dancing, so he'll start dancing and whatever, like she'll bump into somebody else and he'll make his way over to Randy and he's like, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing like I didn't see anything, right? It's just like fucking bad. Everything's made, no luggage, no nothing.
I tell you, there's something up, man. We're gonna have to wait this party out and see what happens. And if we can't do it today, well, we're gonna have to figure it out tomorrow.
Well, but I mean, he's gonna sleep in there, right? It's not like we could sneak in there later. Like, I don't want to go. Oh, fuck! You got me convinced he's a fucking vampire now.
I was gonna say, is he gonna sleep in there? I mean, is he? Come on.
I don't know. I mean, it's his room. Maybe there's like fucking dirt in the closet now. I don't know.
You never know.
Fuck. All right. Well, start drinking some. Make sure you're mixing some fucking water in, man. We don't want to get hungover for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you know, I have this trick that I do. I don't know if you do this or whatever. Usually have a bottle of something in my hand, and then I finish that, and then whatever I'm drinking, I spit it into this bottle or whatever, and then I just walk over, dump it out. You know, it's usually a dark bottle, so it looks like you know, like I'm double fisting, but I'm really just spitting it back into there. So we're all good.
Nice, nice. Good plan. Good plan. I just been dumping mine out or just fucking leaving my drink on a table.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could basically throw it against the wall. No one's gonna fucking care at this point. So.
Well, that's probably true, but don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Or maybe they'd love it. You don't know. They're like,
who knows?
yeah. Yeah. So at this point, the party is winding down. I'm going to assume the Countess takes Jack to her room, and I don't know if you sleep together or not. That's a good question. I'm not going to role play that because it's awkward and creepy. But you can tell me if you do, if you spend the night there or if you leave her otherwise.
Well, let me put it this way: we don't actually have intercourse, but I leave her wanting a lot more.
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Intentionally, because I'm trying to. I'm still see. Jack got this hours ago. He fucking knew there was something fucked up with it. So he's.
We get it, Jack. Jeez, you got it. The plan's afoot. You don't care about this lady. You're just stringing her along.
That's
cold-hearted bitch.
Because he's trying to get more information. So he knows he wants to draw it out. And also, he's suspicious, and he doesn't want to stay there and fall asleep or something. You know?
Yeah. You're playing the true Bond character. We're just me and Erin are just two bumbling idiots trying to make heads or tails of some vampire over here.
So he leaves, but he leaves her like thinking about him and all this shit.
Yeah, she seems very disappointed. Like pouty rich girl wants you to stay. But then she's not going to go too... She doesn't want to give up too much. So she feel like she doesn't want to be like, I'm a slut or any kind of thing. So she's definitely...
She gave up a bunch, but just not, not the full shebang,
Okay. So, but she's like, oh, why don't you stay? We could have so much fun. Blah, blah, blah. That sort of thing.
Well, did Jack notice anything strange? Like those guys were noticing anything strange?
Everything looks very tidy. The bedroom, again, you didn't see any luggage or anything. Are you investigating anything other than the bedroom, living room area? I assume when you went in, you didn't like go to the kitchen or anything, but that's up to you.
No. He was like he was looking around to see if there's anything weird, like books or like,
nothing weird in that area. The only thing you notice weird is it doesn't seem like there are any like toiletries in the bathroom other than what the hotel provides. Again, strange.
So he makes note of that. That's kind of weird, yeah. So Jack, makes some not an excuse, but he says something. He does some bullshit about he really likes her and he wants to he wants to see her again tomorrow, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she totally agrees and says she has you write down your room number, I assume, to call you, or hers, so she says call her and let her know because she definitely wants to see you again.
Okay, so I go back. I go try and find these fucking guys.
When you go back, they're definitely not there by the time you go back. At least at this point, they're not there.
Well, I can probably hear the fucking party going on and shit.
Probably, yeah. It's definitely loud.
I head up there because I just assume they're probably up there.
So, do you guys want to do a different cliffhanger, or do we want to leave this as a cliffhanger? Because I was waiting for a cliffhanger, and I don't have a good one.
I think this would be a good one.
Yeah, I think Jack, riding up the elevator by himself or whatever. I don't know where this guy's. He said penthouse, so I'm assuming it's
at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he said it out loud, so I mean, Jack would have heard him say, party
Yeah.
in the penthouse. So
Yeah. Everyone knows. Everyone knows where that
so
party is.
we wrap it there.
Sure. Man, this episode's getting fun. It's getting interesting. There's so many things going on, and we haven't even hit the meat. There's still meat left.
I kind of feel like we got a lot accomplished, even though we didn't really do a whole lot.
Oh, you got a lot accomplished. There's a lot more now.
I gotta tell you, the Duchess hit the meat. Okay.
Oh. Zing.
And scene.
Yeah,
that's right. And we're calling it. That's the cliffhanger.
Man. That's awesome.
But no, I think you guys got a lot done. I like this kind of social investigation. It's kind of fun to slowly kind of reveal stuff as we go. So I think that works really well. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun for me.
Yeah, this one's turning out to be more of hey, let's do a slow burn and let some of the clues kind of hang out there other than okay, when are we going to get to it?
Yeah.
We're actually starting to get into it.
Yeah. I think this is that was a great episode, or 2 episodes or whatever it's edited to. I think it was really good.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of things, a lot of different things going on, and where do you push, not push? Aaron could have went in and rifled through all the drawers, and I think probably could have gotten away with it, but I don't think he would have done it in the moment. You know what I mean? Randy's got him paranoid.
I mean, that's the thing. What do you investigate? How hard do you go at certain angles? I think there's really, there's a lot to think about. And, there's still plenty of other things going on. So
I think that when they kind of put their heads together later, the bedroom being immaculate, I mean, whatever. No luggage, it's in the closet, but then no toiletries is that's weird. That on top of those things, that's fucking super weird then.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they leave toothpaste. It's soap and shampoo.
There's no. That is correct. Yeah, they don't leave toothbrushes and razors and all that. I guess you ask for it, they might give it to you. But
yeah.
So I definitely wanted to throw a couple last twists in. Twist.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
Not a lot of rolling, but a lot of role playing. So.
Well, that's usually this game is usually that. There's not a ton of rolling. I mean, unless we enter combat, and Gumshoe doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really lend itself to that, right? You just get the clues. That's the nature.
Yeah, there's no roll a percentile. Nope, you didn't notice there wasn't luggage, and it's what?
Right.
Yeah, that's the problem with some of the Cthulhu engine type stuff is you just didn't get the clue because you rolled over that percentile. And it's well, that doesn't make any I look in the bedroom. No, you didn't think anything was weird because you rolled a 90. It's well, that's stupid. That's not what this system is. So
yeah, but I mean, in this sense, it would have equated to the same effect, right? You could just explain all of those things away.
Yeah,
we live in a rational world that it's whatever. I don't know. Everything looked fine. The bed was made. He's probably been out all day. Whatever.
Yeah.
But now we know for sure that something's weird. So I mean, I guess that's the difference.
Once you meet up, yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, I gotta head home.
All right.
So, all right. I'm gonna wrap it.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Good.
Thanks for playing, sir.
You too, Brett.
Good show.
Take it easy. We'll catch you next time.
I can't move my mouse.
You're stuck here forever now.
Sorry, buddy. You're stuck with
Session
us now.
22 starts in 5. 4.
That's right. session.
he's
You're
gone.
stuck in
Your
this game
personal hell.
forever, ever, and ever.
That's right. This is the Murraysville podcast.
You're right. Which actually aired. It was one of our early APs.
That's right. That's right. That's right, baby. Murraysville. I wish I could. I want to edit that into a real scenario, because I thought it worked pretty well. But I need to make. I would make some edits to it to make it better.
Did you put that whole thing together?
I didn't yet.
No, but I'm saying like that was something that you just spitballed came up with.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. We definitely have to get that somewhere.
No, I made all that up. That was all made up.
Nice.
All of Murraysville was not at all from any. That was my. It was actually based on something that if someone could tell me what fucking show it was, I would love more than anything to see it again, because I watched it as a kid. It was like an Outer Limits or a something like that, Twilight Zone type show in the 80s. And I don't remember. The reason I called it Murraysville is because of Groundhog Day, because you relive the same day over and over. But the show, a guy goes into a town, he's driving, and a guy specifically tells him, spoiler alert, to get a cup of coffee at this diner. Like, stop at the diner and get a cup of coffee and a piece of pie or something. And if you do stop and you buy, I don't know if it's if you buy the cup of coffee, if you buy the pie, whatever. If you stop at that diner, once you stop, you're stuck in the town forever. And you can't ever get out. And like, he would like drive different roads and it always circled back right to the same road coming into town. If anyone knows what that is that listens to this podcast, please email John at legendsoftabletop@gmail.com and say, Neil, this is what that show was, and it's episode whatever, or just tell me what show it was and I will go back and find the fucking episode, because I want to know what it is. But very specifically, a guy driving into town stops and talks to a farmer. He says you have to stop and get a cup of coffee at this place. He does, and then he can't ever leave the town. So that's what it was based on. But that was all me just making shit up. The whole like sheriff stuff and like townspeople stuff. I debated what I would do if you didn't stop to get the coffee, because I'm not sure what happens then. I actually really wanted to have one or two people do that and one person not go in, because someone was debating not going in. And I thought, how interesting would it be if that person could leave, but the rest of them couldn't? So if they were in the car, you would never leave. But if that person left by themselves, they would. It was interesting.
And they wouldn't know, right? Because we'd probably be together.
You never know. You'd always be together. And so like, it'd be a really interesting scenario if anyone ever figured out that like that was what caused it.
Well, here, let me interrupt you. Max asks, is it black and white or color? Do you remember?
Color. Definitely color.
It definitely was not the Twilight Zone then, because they were never.
Yes, correct. Yes, it was not Twilight Zone. It was an 80s show for sure in the 80s.
Could have been Outer Limits.
There was an Outer Limits.
Hitchhiker. You remember that show?
What? No.
It might have been an HBO show.
It very well could have been.
It was the same sort of, like creepy stories. Like the beginning of the show, I only vaguely remember. It's like you see the guy walking down the side of the road, and like you see the car come up, and you see him through the window.
Okay.
And like there's some creepy music, and then it's like creepy show. He said, well, he said could have been Wayward Pines, and then he said no, that was way after. So that might have been like a 90s show. Wayward Pines I've never heard of.
They redid it. I know that. Ooh, interesting. There's a lot of people listed. The Hitchhiker it could be The Hitchhiker.
I used to watch that all the time. And it was definitely an 80s thing because I was, a young teen.
It's an anthology, and it was around the right time. 86 to 87.
I wasn't that young.
It says from. I'm looking on here. It says from 83 to 87. It was on HBO.
Shit, that's long.
Wayward Pines was after 2000, according to Max. He was fucking Googling everything.
It should not be after that. I wonder if it's The Hitchhiker. No, that's a very strong possibility.
I solved the puzzle.
I gotta find out. There are 6 seasons? Jesus Christ.
And it was
85
creepy,
episodes? Oh, that's gotta be it.
Tales from the Cryptish, Outer
let's
Limits,
see.
like that same kind of.
I'm gonna try Hitchhiker TV show Stuck in Town.
Oh my god, nobody wants to hear that. I'm gonna have to add all this shit out now.
God damn it. Anyway, someone
Go
tell
watch
me what
cool
that is.
stuff.
Figure it out.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for coming by, checking it out. We had a bunch of people hanging out watching us live tonight, so that's cool. If you like everything, please if you could leave a rating or review on iTunes or Podchaser, whatever your podcatcher of choice is, that helps us out tremendously. It just helps us to get noticed. Tell your friends. Retweet. If you see that we're going to be live, if you're hanging out, all that stuff helps a ton. Obviously, we have coffee for sale. If Neil roasted, did you roast this weekend? Hopefully.
I owe you coffee?
3 bags, sir.
Shit. Okay. Whoops, I didn't, but I'll get them to you. Sorry, I forgot that. I'm off my game.
One of them's for Oscar.
That's right. You do have a thing for that, yeah.
Yep. So order coffee. As you can tell, it's brewed, or not brewed, but roasted fresh to order.
If it's someone other than John, I'll get it to you way faster.
That's probably true too.
But that coffee, does that have your name on it? What kind of coffee is that called?
That is the legendary brew, Legends of Tabletop Birds of a Feather coffee combination. The other birds, it's fantastic. The other birds' coffees are good as well. If you happen to not like the Legends brew, which I'm not really sure how that would be possible, but you could also try the Night Owl blend. That was my previous favorite. It's a rich dark roast, which is also fantastic. But yeah, thanks for checking this out. Thanks for ordering coffee and stuff. We're gonna get a Patreon up here soon. Although by the time this airs, it'll be up before then. But thanks everybody, and I'll throw in the thing here for Neil. It could be Tourist Trap, the episode of The Hitchhiker. Max is still looking into it.
Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Tourist Trap. Come on. Go to YouTube right now and watch Tourist Trap.
Is that on YouTube? Because I'm gonna go do it.
Come on,
They probably are, yeah.
Be flipping everything's on YouTube now.
Yep.
Yep. After you watch every episode of this, go watch The Hitchhiker.
Yep. And next Thursday, live, we're going to hit, I'll be on with Kurt on the MFG cast. They'll be doing their 200th episode. So if you are around on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central, you want to swing by and say hey in the chat, I'll be hanging out with Kurt.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some random bullshit. We'll just be talking about what we've been doing and just kind of, hang out with everybody. It'll be fun.
Because everybody that's on the show is doing another show.
That's always how it works.
Whoops.
Yep.
Yeah, our show might not be as cool as your show, but we try.
Hey, you've got a longer track record. All right. So thanks, Max, for trying to headline the research there.
Max, I love you. I don't know who you are in person, but I need to find this, and you may have solved my problem, and I'm gonna Google the shit out of this till I figure out if that's it and if I can watch it somewhere and prove that is it.
Sweet. We have cracked the puzzle that has haunted Neil for ages.
It's true. Just like the internet cracked the whole thing of, whether there was actually a Webster episode where there was a fucking disturbing doll in a rocking chair in an old mansion that he's in. And guess what? It is true. That actually does happen in an episode, and it's terrifying.
You sure it wasn't just Webster in a chair?
It was no, it was not Webster, but it was. Okay, this episode is on YouTube, so I'm gonna.
See, I told you, everything's on YouTube.
All right, well, we're gonna watch.
Let's all watch this together. Wait, this is not what I thought it was.
Oh, nostalgia.
Oh my god! All right,
Anyway,
thanks everybody. We'll catch you next time.